it's Lily here from Shine Bright Diamonds 2023, and I'm coming to you today on Tuesday, August 4th with another one of my weekly WIP'n chats. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. I am so happy that you have found my little corner here on YouTube. And of course, those of you that are returning, welcome back. Now, if this is your first time tuning into a WIP'n chat, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat is where I chat to you about what's been going on in my world. So feel free to pull out a project and work alongside me, or treat this as a podcast, whatever floats your boat. So let's get into it, because it's been like 2 weeks since I've checked in, and in those 2 weeks, quite a bit has happened. So let me just go over my supplies here. So the first thing that I have is my Yellow Dog Designs tray that I will be using. And then my pen is coming from, I believe it's Treasured Designs. They are a small shop on Etsy. But I kind of figured the green would work because I am officially starting a new kit. So the kit that I'm working on is Legolas from the Lord of the Rings. And this one, I started it on August 3rd, so yesterday. And it is my canvas I chose for the diamond painting event, Fan Art Fest 2026. So there's 59 colors. It is square. It's a really big kit. It's a huge kit. It's 70 by 93 centimeters. But I kind of figured, you know what? Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite trilogies for movies and books. Legolas is one of my favorite characters. So it just made sense. Okay, let me grab a color. And Dumpling, hey, what are you doing? Get out. Okay. All right, so Dumpling's hanging out in the craft room. She's like, we just came back from the vet, and she's just like, I want all the cuddles. Although she was cuddling with me, and now she's decided to cause chaos. So for those of you that are new here, Dumpling is my 4-month-old puppy. She's in the middle of teething, and she just found a box to chew on. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I gave her like a chewy that she can use, but now she's decided to sleep. So anyway, puppy life. Okay, so color-wise. So I'm gonna start with the green here. I know I have this like super pushed over because I finally figured out a setup on my desk with the kits when they're really big. Although this one is not a horizontal kit, it's more of a vertical kit. So it's not terrible. Anyway, so how are you? What is new? I know the last time we talked was like 2 weeks ago, and quite a bit has happened since then. I don't know where to start. I guess I can start with Dumpling updates. So Dumpling has been, her vaccine schedule has been really broken up. So last week she had one of her vaccines, and she does so good at the vet. However, she is very much still on my work schedule, where at least she's waking up at around 5:45, 6 a.m., which isn't terrible because for work I wake up for 5. But I mean, I'm also still on my holidays, so I'm like, girl, a little sleep would be nice. But I can't complain because she's in a very good routine. So typically, if we've had a rough night and she's napping during the day, then I can sort of nap while she's napping, so that works in my favor. But last week she had literally gone to the vet, got another set of her vaccines. She has 2 more vaccine appointments left, and then she's done, so that's really good. She was supposed to have one of her shots today. However, she needed some different medication for she's having some issues with her like poop. I don't want to get into too many details. So long story short, she got medication for that to help her. And it was recommended that we hold off on the vaccine until she's done her medication. So that appointment has been moved till next week. But last Tuesday, we were in a brutal schedule. So first of all, my best friend had come down to visit me last weekend, hence why there was no WIP'n chat. And then it just got worse, like, as, like, the week went on. And I swear it will make sense. So last weekend, my best friend came to visit. And I haven't seen my best friend in a really long time. So her and I, we had a grand old girls' time. Literally, we went out for dinner. We went to Montana's, which is, like, a restaurant we always went to when we were, like, in university. So it's, you know, really special. And on top of that, my best friend and I, we've known each other since we were like 6 years old. So, you know, it was a really great time. So she came over and we literally went to Montana's, and then we decided, let's watch horror movies. So we ended up binging a bunch of horror movies. We had watched Passengers. What else did we watch? Oh, there's another one. What was it called? Passengers was actually really creepy. But it was good. Oh, we watched The Ruins, an oldie. That one was interesting. We watched, like, 90 Day Fiancé because her and I both love TLC. And obviously she stayed over because she does not live near me. So she stayed over. Dumpling, we worked on her socialization. So Dumpling and my bestie became best friends. So I was really, really happy about that. But because my best friend was still with me, she came with me to the vet. So my best friend came with Dumpling and I to the vet. And at the vet appointment, Dumpling was given her shot. And everything seemed good. So Dumpling, typically when she gets her shot, she's very, like, tired and sleepy. So when we got home, she sort of just wanted to, like, you know, cuddle up in her crate and just sleep it off. So my friend and I were like, okay, you know what? We're just going to go out. So my friend and I decided to go out. We ended up going to the mall and had a great time. We ended up going into Erie. I had told my friend that I needed, like, a new bathing suit for my water running that I like to do. So we went bathing suit hunting. She wanted to find, like, some cute, just, you know, new clothes to go out. And I was like, great, love it. So we literally had a girls' day and Dumpling slept. So in the past, like the past 2 times when Dumpling has gotten a vaccine, she has sort of just slept, and there was never any, like, puppy witching hour involved. It was just sort of like, I'm going to sleep it off, and then the next day I act like nothing happened. So that's what I thought. So my friend ended up staying a little later. She didn't leave until, like, after dinner, which was fine. And then I thought, like, Dumpling was just, like, chillaxing, you know, doing her thing. She had her dinner. You know, everything seemed normal. And then I had, like, showered thinking, okay, it's like 9:30. I'm going to go to bed. And that's normally when Dumpling goes to bed. No. Dumpling decided to start her day at 9:30 at night. She was acting like nothing had happened. I think she was confused with, like, the time of day too, because my friend and I, we had stayed up late the night before. So maybe Dumpling just thought the party kept going. I don't know. But long story short, I ended up taking her for a walk at, like, 10 o'clock at night. And then we played and we did all the things. Like, she would not settle. Like, she was just, you know, because she had been sleeping all day. And I guess her vaccine fatigue or whatever, like, wore off. So we had finally gone to bed at, like, midnight. Well, tell me how I thought she was going to sleep in. She did not. Because she ended up waking me up at 4:30 in the morning. Did not want to go back to sleep. So our day started at 4:30. And we sort of did 2 days in a row of waking up at 4:30 a.m. and going to bed at, like, 9:30, 10 o'clock, which that's, like, her normal bedtime. But I was like, girl, why are you waking up so early? So because of that, and then normally what happens is, like, because I still need to do my bedtime routine. So even though Dumpling has gone to bed, I end up staying up late because I'm like, woohoo, time for me to read my book, scroll Instagram, do all the things. So normally I stay up, like, an hour after, like, later. So last week, my sleep schedule was a disaster. It is finally getting back on track. Dumpling is back on track. We're back to our regular waking up at 5 a.m. at 5:45 because she hears my alarm go off and then she barks. Although today she did want to wake up at 5:30, which wasn't a big deal. So we, went for a walk. Everything's good. But overall, like, Dumpling's doing really well. We are still working on her socialization. I say we because it is also a family effort. This past weekend, I had gone to visit with my parents and brought Dumpling along, and she did pretty good. Like, my parents have a big backyard, and Dumpling's an apartment dog, so being able to play in the backyard was great. Like, she had a lot of fun running around. She's like afraid of my dad, which I feel so bad because my dad just like wants to cuddle with her and she's just like runs away. Yeah, we're still working on it. But I did take her on a walk in my parents' neighborhood with my mom, and she did really good. Like, she didn't hide. So we're no longer like trying to hide from everything and everyone. She tends to, like, when something's new, she'll just stop and stare. Her new thing is staring at people on her walks, which is fine. But it is a slow process working on her socialization, but she has come a long way. Like, I'm honestly really proud of her. But yes, so that's my dog updates. Oh, she's passed out now. Never mind. She's passed out. So that's my dog updates. And then other things that happened like last week, like, it was just bonkers. I don't know what happened. So my boyfriend came down to visit. We ended up going to see the Odyssey, which I really enjoyed the movie. He really enjoyed the movie too. We did not see it in IMAX. We just saw it in like the regular, like, I guess, screen. I don't know. I really don't know the difference between IMAX and non-IMAX, to be honest. But the movie was so good. It was amazing. Definitely recommend it. My only issue, and I felt so bad for my boyfriend, about like, I think we were like maybe like half an hour into the movie and I started to get a really bad headache. And unfortunately, so if you're new here, hi, I have been dealing with really bad headaches, migraines. Pretty much they started in like February. So I'm on the wait list to see a headache specialist. I've been given migraine medication. I'm also now on the wait list to see a retinal specialist because they don't know, there's stuff at the back of my eye, so they don't know if that's contributing to the headaches now. But anyway, it's a long story. So anyway, my boyfriend and I, we were watching, the Odyssey, and then I think it was like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes into the movie, I started to get a headache. So I thought, oh, maybe I'm just thirsty. So, I was drinking my water, eating my popcorn, whatever. And then it just got worse. It ended up being a full-blown migraine. My boyfriend was like, do you want to leave the theater? And I was like, no, we paid for these tickets. We're staying till the end of the movie. Because, it's expensive to go to the movies. Honestly, so we went to the movies and then we got back to my place and I ended up passing out on the couch. I told him, I was like, listen, I really need to lie down. It's really bad. Like, I'm starting to get like that sensitivity towards light, sound, everything. Poor little Dumpling just wanted to cuddle with me, but she was like, her boyfriend's here. She doesn't need me. I'll just watch. And then my boyfriend, he works shift work, so he ended up falling asleep on my couch, and then we just like passed out, and then eventually Dumpling joined into the mix, and it was rough. My boyfriend, like, he works in healthcare, so he, he's great. Like, whenever I have like a question, he's always like, I got you, I can help you. But yeah, so the headache did take me out, which sucked because we were supposed to like go out and get dinner. We did not do that. We just ended up napping, and then unfortunately he had to go home. But at least I still got to see him, and we got to do one of our favorite things, which is literally watch movies. That's like our thing, is movies, TV, and exploring new restaurants. That's like that's who we are. But anyway, so that happened last week. And then because of the stupid migraine, it ended up coming back. And like, dumpling is so good with me because when I get my migraines and I need to lie down and I just need like that silence, she is like, I will cuddle with you and hope and like try and find a way to make you feel better. And I'm like, you are the sweetest little thing on the planet. So I did get my puppy cuddles when I had my headache, and unfortunately I've been getting quite a few of them lately. So I don't know if it's like because of the weather. Here in Southern Ontario, we did get hit with like really heavy bad rain. My area was under a rainfall warning. Luckily nothing flooded, but there are areas in Ontario that did flood because of the storms, and like their flooding is like bad. Unfortunately that was like, so like when I had my headache on the rain, like I normally get my headaches whenever it's like going to rain and it's going to be a bad rainstorm. So like thunderstorms, or like if there's a sudden change in temperature, that seems to be a trigger. But then there's other times where it's like, it's perfect weather. I've had, like, I always like do this checklist. I'm like, okay, have I eaten? Did I get enough sleep? Have I had enough water? Okay, if all of that's good, it's probably the weather. But then there's like random times where like everything is perfect and I get hit with these really bad headaches. So yeah, Sunday when the rain happened, like I did have a bad headache, but I mean, it wasn't migraine level where I was like, I can't have sound, light, nothing. Like it was just, you know, a regular headache. I can just take a Tylenol and I'm fine. Like I didn't need my migraine meds, so I was really happy about that. I think I need a new color. Yes, I do. So yeah, so in terms of, you know, what's been going on, it's just been busy and weird. So I went from dealing with really bad headaches to having Dumpling on a really weird sleep schedule that affected my sleep schedule. And then it was sort of like, you know, I had people visit. But between all of this, I still managed to get done diamond painting. Now that Dumpling is a little older, when I'm home, she has more access to the apartment. When I go out, she just stays in like our family dining room area. And I have like the baby gate so she can like, you know, not get into things. And I always make sure to close like the bedroom door, the craft room, the washroom, like all of that, just in case she gets through the baby gates. Because I know I have a 3-panel one and a 2-panel one, and the 2-panel one she can push, and she's done it before. But like, you know, so anyway, when I'm home, she's now more comfortable coming into the other rooms. Before she was like really nervous. So now she'll come in the craft room, and often in the morning, I feel like I've really gotten a little lax with my crate training, because she knows like for bed, she just prefers to sleep in her crate at night. And you know what? That's fine. I thought the one night she was going to sleep in my bed because she was falling asleep and I was falling asleep. I was reading. And I turned off the light because I thought she was going to sleep in my bed. And then she was like ready to launch herself off of my bed to go to her crate to sleep. So I was like, okay, it's fine. But like during the day now when she's napping, if she doesn't want to nap in her crate, I'm not going to force it, because sometimes she'll just go in her crate, you know, to hang out. But like if she wants to nap in the same room that I'm in, she's good. So now that she's like more comfortable with the apartment, when she's napping in the morning, often during that time, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do my crafting. So that is when I have been doing a lot more diamond painting. And because of that, I was able to finish Daydreaming by Sarah Mustafa, which I still need to film a post review for. And I ended up starting and finishing this mini kit from Make Market brand, which is the Michaels brand, and it was capybaras. So I actually was very surprised that I got in that. And then I originally for the Fan Art Fest was going to do Anahimi by Margaret Morales. And then I decided last minute, no, I really still want to do my Legolas Lord of the Rings kit. Simply because one, when I purchased, I just spilled drills. Why? The main reason I also really wanted to work on this kit is when I got this kit, for whatever reason, the box was attached to like the plastic sleeve that the kit comes in that's inside the box. So the box got destroyed and I ended up having to just throw out the box. So this kit has just been sitting in my stash with no box whatsoever. So I kind of figured, you know what, this is a good opportunity for me to work on it. Plus the color palette, green, it's a color that I find really calm, but it's also a really good color that I think for like summer, like especially because this gets more like dark greens. It's not like the bright spring light greens, if that makes any sense. Okay, there. Nope. Ugh, get off. The static was brutal when I was kitting up this kit. So anyway, so I kind of figured the color palette works for this time of year, for summer, and it has, you know, some browns in it. It is a darker colored kit in terms of the color palette. Like I'll show you, like it's a lot more of like these greens. There's some yellows, whites. I ran out of my little Diamond Art Club thingies, so I had to use my round ones. But like, I mean, the color palette's really pretty, but it is darker. So I kind of figured if I get tired of the color palette, then I have Rainy Day by Hannah Lynn kitted up that I just haven't started yet. So I mean, I can switch between that one or even Claire and the Nutcracker by Miss Holly. That one is still kitted up and needs to be finished. So I'm like, you know what, this is fine. But right now I've just been enjoying this kit. I mean, I did one section because I really don't like starting a new row in my WIP'n chats. I don't know why, even though a lot of times that tends to happen. But yeah, so that's the kit that I've been working on. I think right now though, unless I get tired of the color palette, this is going to be the focus kit, because I realize I am not good at having multiple whips at once. I am literally a one whip at a time person. Hence why Rainy Day by Hannah Lynn has never been started, even though it's kitted up. Yeah. So that is that in terms of what I'm working on. I need a new color. We're going to do this one. In other diamond painting news, things that have been going on is I decided, oh gosh, Dumpling had like the best day ever when I did this. I decided to take out all the diamond painting kits in my closet, which is where I keep my stash, and I just wanted to go through and see what I had. Part of me doing that meant that, and I still have to finish, like I want to do a second round, but I did one round of taking everything out, and as soon as I saw a kit that I was like, nope, not working on, I put in my destash pile. So I ended up destashing a couple of kits. I do want to do another round of it, but I was posting my diamond painting destash, like kits to destash, in the Canadian diamond painting group that I'm in. But I was able to destash some kits. I do want to do another round because there were some kits that I was like, I don't know. So I think I need to just go through again and just look and see what I have. And Dumpling during that time lived her best life, because Dumpling was like, oh cool, things I can climb on. I swear she's part cat, because she climbs on things and I'm like, you are a dog. I don't understand why we are climbing right now. But anyway, so I was able to like take them out. Right now my bedroom is a disaster. I have not put any of the kits back. So I have 3 distinct piles. The one pile Dumpling keeps climbing on to like investigate my dresser. The other one is like right at the door, which is where I think I will put the kits I want to destash. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I kind of figured, like, I have so many kits in my stash, but some of the kits in my stash are like from when I first started diamond painting, and my tastes have changed. I know what I like now. I also realized, like, realistically, I diamond paint really slow. So, like, when am I actually going to get to these kits when I know someone else could be enjoying it right now? So that's sort of where I'm at. Of course, you know, there are kits that I'm like, absolutely, I am not getting rid of it. Like, my Miss Holly kits, obsessed. I did end up getting rid of some of my Margaret Morales kits because I realized, like, Margaret Morales, I love her artwork, but not all of her diamond paintings, like, or not all of her images speak to me as something I want to craft. Some of them I'm like, you know what? I would much rather literally just either purchase it as an art print or watch someone else diamond paint it than for me to actually do it. And I've come to the conclusion that that is okay. I don't have to buy every single diamond painting. And on that note, I have also been utilizing my Diamond Art Club wish list a lot. The past couple of weeks I have not been buying, to be honest. The last thing I purchased was for my birthday, which was Sakura Festival, and then the extra Diamond Art Club little bead containers. And in that time, like, there has been quite a few Miss Holly kits that came out. There are some gorgeous Margaret Morales ones that came out. Most of the new Miss Holly kits that came out have ended up on my wish list. The only one that did not was the winter Miss Holly mystery kit. That one I ended up purchasing just because mystery kits are limited edition, and I really did not want to miss out on that. But other than that, like, I just have not been purchasing. I've just been enjoying doing what I do. And part of me is curious also to see, like, between now and the end of the year, how many diamond paintings I will actually finish. Because I feel like this year I've been a lot slower with my diamond painting. There's just been a lot going on. Obviously, I've had some days that weren't so great with my mental health. And then when I'm dealing with my headaches, I really have a hard time doing anything. So, you know, but between now and the end of the year, how many kits will I actually finish? Right now, my goal is literally just to finish the kits that I have kitted up. Because I'm not a fan of having a bunch of storage containers being held up with kits unless they are kits for events. Which is why I really want to just work through what I have, because I know Drills and Chills got announced, and I right now don't have any storage containers to use to start prepping for my Drills and Chills kit, which I think I've already chosen the kit I want to work on. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm leaning towards one of my Miss Holly diamond paintings of Wilhelmina the Witch, but I have not 100% decided, because I also have like a really cute from the Gubu family, a Halloween one in my stash that was the first Gubu family painting that got released, the one where, like, they're mixing little potions. I haven't decided. But yes, so we will see what ends up getting chosen. But all I know is I definitely want to work on, you know, getting some of my storage containers emptied. Which I say that after, you know, I just kitted up this giant square. That I wouldn't say it's super confetti heavy. It definitely has a lot more, like, line blocking. But I don't know. Also, I always find, like, when I start a new diamond painting, I am generally really slow at it because I'm trying to figure out where the colors are, get familiar with the symbols. And normally the very first row, I'm like really conscious of my placement, and then something happens like after the first row when I'm like, it doesn't matter, it's fine. And then that's normally when I end up with like popping drills that go flying. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But yeah, so that's what's been going on with me in terms of diamond painting. In terms of books, I ended up finishing Tourist Season by Brienne Weaver. Amazing book. And I ended up finishing the, what's it called? The Intruder by Frida McFadden. The Intruder by Frida McFadden, I ended up giving it only 3 stars. It was okay. It was just, I don't know. I feel like it was intriguing, but at the same time, it took me some time, like the whole like hemming and hawing with like, you know, when like, what's her name? Casey and Ellie were like in, is her name Ellie? The little girl, when they were like in the cabin, and I was like, guys, like, come on, let's get it together. So, or Eleanor, I think that was her name. I can't remember. I'm so bad at remembering names. But yeah, so it sort of felt a little draggy at times for me, even though it was a short book. Tourist Season, I was obsessed with. I really want to read the sequel, but I have 2 books on the go right now. So I'm still working on reading Alchemized by Senlin Yu, which that book, it's really good, but it's just really dark. I think between the fact that, you know, there's different types of torture, and there's also like back and forth, like I didn't realize the book was divided up into parts. So I'm now in part 2, which is 4 years before the events of part 1. And I also find that the book, like, it's really interesting, but at the same time, it's also dense, because on top of there being, you know, the trigger warnings, I'm also trying to learn the author's, like, magic system they've created and the world that they've created. Like, you know, there's a lot for me to comprehend, but it's really good. It's just one of those books that it's taking me a lot longer than I realized it would. But it is what it is. I'm enjoying it still. And then the other book that I decided to start was Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, which that is a dark romance. So like I'm not even 100 pages in. So far it's creepy, like the atmosphere is creepy. It's really interesting. My friend did warn me, because she introduced me to like the subgenre of dark romance. She did warn me that this book is very, very dark, and, you know, make sure I check the trigger warnings. But so far it hasn't, like, there's been nothing smutty yet. So I think it's building though. Like I feel like something is going to happen very soon. So those are the 2 books that I'm reading. And then my other book club, like we just met last night. We have decided to read, oh, what's the name of the book? Hold on. Let me get it for you. Because it seems like a really cute book. It's definitely a feel-good book. We have decided to read Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. It is, my understanding is that it is also a movie on Netflix, but it's supposed to be sort of like, more of like a fiction, maybe some magic, contemporary type book. So definitely very different from the books I'm currently reading. But I had told the girls at that book club, I'm like, I just need something, you know, a little lighter, something not as dark. And, you know, obviously this is a separate book club from the dark romance book club I'm in. But we were like, yeah, no problem. So then we decided on this book. So anyway, so I haven't started Remarkably Bright Creatures yet. Maybe I don't know. We're not meeting again until the end of August. So maybe, you know, in a week or so I'll start it. I'm just too busy enjoying the 2 books that I'm currently reading right now. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with reading wise. And then in terms of TV shows, I am still watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Definitely enjoying that. And then I also started watching season 4 of Virgin River, because I think that's where I left off. So season 4 of Virgin River I started watching. And Virgin River is just such a cozy show, so you know. And then what else was there? So I have that. Oh, and Criminal Minds. I always have Criminal Minds going. And Bob's Burgers. I mean, at this point, it's to be expected that Bob's Burgers is always on at some point in the week. And like, the thing with Bob's Burgers is like, it's one of those shows that I don't care if I've seen the episode. Like, it's just such a comfort show. Because it's funny. Especially Louise. She kills me. But anyway, so that's what I've been watching. Honestly, Dumpling has learned to appreciate the Real Housewives. I don't know if she's watching, but I mean, I have seen her look at the TV, so, you know. But anyway, so that's what I've been up to. I mean, it has been busy, but at the same time it hasn't, because like I haven't really gone anywhere. But I mean, I can't complain. I'm also just trying to like soak up what's left of my summer holidays before I need to go back to work. Although I keep seeing like the back to school commercials, and I'm like, I'm not ready, but at the same time I sort of am ready, because I do like routine. I like the routine. I like seeing my coworkers. I love teaching. But you know, I also just enjoy being home. I guess that's, you know, what it is like to be an introvert with a very extrovert type job. But yeah, so other than that, it's been pretty chill. Nothing too crazy. I'm just, you know, enjoying. I mean, the weather has been much nicer. I won't lie. It's been a lot more comfortable. Although I think this week it is supposed to get hot again. And then I think near the end of the week it is going to get rainy. So probably very humid, which is not good for me. I do not like humidity at all. At all. I'd rather be like, you know, comfortable, or like it to be a little chillier, because I like being bundled in blankets. That was the other thing. When my friend and I had gone to HomeSense, they had the cutest fall blankets, and I'm just like, I do not need another blanket, because I have designated blankets. Like for the summer months, I have like a cute strawberry blanket, and then for the fall I have like this cute vintage pumpkin print blanket, and then for like Christmas, because I love Christmas, I have like a really cute gingerbread blanket. So I don't need another blanket, but they are very cute. Although technically I did lose two blankets are now Dumplings, and then she's like encroaching on a third blanket. And I say they're hers because she just bundles up in them and she just loves them. And then when she's on them, it's not like I can like take them to use them, because she's just like wraps herself in them. But yeah, so that's that. But yeah, so anyway, that's what's been going on. Just hermiting, looking at cute fall decor. Although I don't know if I'm going to be able to put my pumpkin pillows out this year, because Dumpling is still teething, and I can foresee her trying to chew through a pumpkin pillow. Even though she's been really good. She has been really good. She's good at when I redirect her to a more appropriate thing to chew on. You know, she's been good. Although when it comes to her testing boundaries, she's definitely starting to test more. I fear that the adolescent stage might be upon me. And I've heard that that is when puppies can get very rebellious. And I'm like, I'm not ready at all. Also at the vet, they weighed her. She is now 9.2 pounds. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I can't believe you're growing so fast. I remember like when she was so tiny. I mean, she still is tiny. She's not going to get very big. The predicted adult weight for her is between 10 to 12 pounds. So she will stay tiny, but I mean, she's not going to be puppy tiny, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway. All right, so I feel like I've been talking for a while, so I am going to wrap this up. I did not get a lot done. I'm not surprised. I always diamond paint so much slower when I'm chatting, but I mean, it looks good. Like I said, the colors are nice and vivid. That's what I like. But anyway. All right, so if you did enjoy today's WIP'n chat, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support does mean the world to me. Of course, if you are looking for more diamond painting content, you can find me on my Instagram at ShineBrightDiamonds2023. So until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye, everyone.